Hi, everybody. It is Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in, sellers. We are going to talk about what the TV show Shark Tank teaches eBay sellers. If you don't watch Shark Tank, I encourage you to watch it, but this is how I encourage you to watch it. Actually, there's a couple of ways to watch it. Obviously, just for entertainment, it's a very entertaining show on reruns. The way my husband and I watch it, if he watches it with me, we actually use it if, like the classic TV show, if you've ever got a chance to watch this. Hi, Sharon. Let's Make a Deal. If you're not familiar with Let's Make a Deal, they would always have two or three boxes or two or three doors. Typically, the doors were the best known. And they would say, okay, you're going to choose door number one, door number two, or door number three. And this is the way my husband and I will watch Shark Tank. If there is a guest on Shark Tank, and if you don't know the way the layout is, the way Shark Tank works is there's a panel of investors. Barbara Corcoran's one, Mark Cuban's one, but there's a panel of investors. Lori Grenier from QVC. And when I was on QVC years ago, yes, I was there when Lori was there, and she is very gracious and very nice and very hardworking. And anyway, so she's one of the sharks. So different entrepreneurs come in, they have a concept, a business, an idea, they pitch it to the sharks. They tell the sharks what the offer is, a certain percentage of their business for a certain amount of money. And the sharks, accept that. They bid, they counter. Hey, John, how are you? So this is how my husband and I watch Shark Tank. If you don't do this, it's a lot of fun. If there is a bidding war, which can be a lot of fun, so similar to eBay years ago, when a lot of times there would be auction bidding wars, on Shark Tank, if it's a very popular product, and some of the products are really interesting, really hot commodities, you'll have several sharks bidding, and they'll make different offers. So like Barbara will make an offer, 20% of the company for $250,000. Mark Cuban will say, okay, I want 25%, but I'm going to give you more money, or I'm going to give you this. Robert Herjavec will make a counter. Lori Grenier will jump in. Mr. Wonderful will. So the entrepreneur will have several choices. And what my husband and I do is we'll go, take Lori's offer, take Barbara's offer, or we'll guess. We sort of do what they call like a gentleman's bet. We'll guess. I go, I know she's going to take Lori's offer. And he goes, no, I know he's going to take Mark's offer. And then we see who's right. So that's a fun way to watch. Because you see what different entrepreneurs, what they're offering, and it's good to listen to. Sometimes they're offering back end. So what they're saying is having a system for the business is going to be very, very helpful. Mark is typically very good with things like websites. Barbara is very good with marketing. So it reminds you of the different parts of our business that are important, which is, what is my work process in eBay? What is my marketing or my social media on eBay? But this is what I wanted to say. So definitely, you listen for that, okay? Is oftentimes too, the sharks will ask the entrepreneur, what is their plan for their business? How do they want to move it forward? Sometimes they want to go global. Sometimes they want to add more lines to whatever it is that they're selling. Sometimes they want to add more warehouses. If it's a physical product and they're manufacturing it themselves, they want to add what's called a co-packer, which is they're going to be outsourcing the creation and the making of the product. So it's interesting to listen for ideas about how to scale and grow a business, even if you do not have a business that's exactly what the entrepreneur is speaking of. They're speaking of, let's say, a food product, or they're speaking, typically food products a lot are the ones that go to a cold packer. But it's interesting to listen to. For this business to grow above a certain level, they're going to need to outsource more of what is done. So for me as an eBay seller, I can look at, to grow beyond a certain point, are there any things that I'm doing in my business? The packing and shipping, the warehousing. If you don't know, I work with some very large sellers. Typically, my very large sellers, their inventory is in warehouses. They're not picking it and packing it themselves. They have a warehouse staff. So their shipping process is being outsourced. For others, it could be your social media can be outsourced. But just know, when you get to a certain level, typically you really start outsourcing parts of your business in order to scale. And of course, keeping an eye on margins. What I really wanted to address, though, was it's something that the sharks typically ask every entrepreneur, every single one that comes into the tank. And to think if you are Shark Tank fans, you're going to know what I'm going to talk about. So just think about, like, is there a common denominator? Is there something, whether they're selling clothing or food or electronics or a service, an app? Sometimes it's an app that they're selling. What is a number one question that the sharks are always asking the entrepreneur? Can you think? I'll let you think for a sec. I'll let the clock go. I feel like Jeopardy, right? It's, do you know your numbers? What are your numbers? Typically, Mr. Wonderful or Mark Cuban will ask, but they all do ask it. What are your sales? And the other thing they ask them is, how much inventory are you holding? And this is what I wanted to bring up for eBay sellers, because this is a truth that works for you, whether you have 10 listings, 50 listings, 1,000 listings, 3,000 listings or more, whether you are new to eBay or very experienced. How many listings do you have up on eBay? Okay. And obviously, if you're cross-channel, you're looking at that too. So if you're on Poshmark, Mercari, Amazon, Walmart, but I'm going to just talk eBay right now. How many listings? How much inventory? Not unlisted inventory. That's another, I'll do another video on that. How many listings? And from that, those listings, what is the worth of your listings? And if you don't know the exact dollar amount, you can look at, like, typically I have 50 listings up or 100 listings up. And you know, typically what you pay for an item, you know, you can ballpark it. So is my inventory worth $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, whatever it is? So, you know, pen and paper, how many listings? Okay. And I'm just going to do a rough number. Let's say I've got 100. And let's say the amount of money I've got tied up in inventory of my 100 listings, let's just say it's $1,000. We're just going to do warm. Okay. Because the thing that people will always come to me, so this is Shark Tank, right? So they're asking me, well, how many, you know, how much money do you have invested in inventory, Kathy? I've got $1,000 invested in inventory. And then they're like, okay, so why are you here? Okay. And the reason that most sellers show up and listen to videos and come to me is, Kathy, I want to increase my sales. And I go, okay, so I've got 100 listings. I've got $1,000 tied up. And let's say with my 100 listings, I'm selling, we're going to go big here. I'm selling 2 items a day. So for 100 listings, I am selling 2 items a day with $1,000 tied up. So, Kathy, how do I increase my sales? Same thing with the entrepreneur, Barbara Corcoran, saying to me, Kathy, how are you going to increase your sales? Why are you here? So I could be there because I want more money to buy more inventory, which is a very common thing on Shark Tank, which is they have their money tied up in inventory. They want to be able to expand to other retail venues. They want to go into retail. They want to expand their warehouse. They want to expand, you know, what they're offering. So they want money for inventory. Why? Because the money is tied up in the physical good until it's sold, right? So if I've got 1,000 pens, I've got to buy these, unless you're a consignment seller or a drop ship seller. And that's another video. We're going to deal with inventory that you're holding. I have money tied up in these pens, right? So if I want to increase my sales, I'm going to need more money for more inventory to get more sales. Because for me, for my 100 listings, I typically sell 2 a day. Okay. But here's another way to increase your sales. Okay. And this comes up on Shark Tank too. So I have my 100 listings that I'm getting 2 sales a day. If I don't want money to buy more inventory, let's just say, for argument's sake, I'm going to keep my 100 listings, but I want to increase my sales. I want to increase my profitability. What do I do? We're just talking numbers. I increase my sell-through rate. Your sell-through rate is how fast you get a sale. So again, back to the 100 listings. If I've got 100 listings and I am typically on average, because one day you may get 4 sales, the next day you get 1. So you do need to look at your sales. Typically a week is a good period to look at. If there's a real up and down with your sales, which can happen with unique collectibles, then I might want to look at a month. Okay, so let's say average sales is 2 a day. If I can increase that to 3 a day, doesn't sound like a lot, does that? But that's a 50% increase. And obviously, if you sell 5 a day, you can look at increasing to 7 a day or 8 a day. But if I increase it by 1 a day, and let's say a typical month is 30 days, so that's a typical increase in 30 more sales a month. How much I'm increasing my sales and my revenue, and I have not increased the cost of inventory. Another video we do, obviously, as you're selling, you're going to go and buy more inventory. But I'm saying, let's just look at how do I increase sales? How do I increase profitability? Is maintain that 100 listings. So obviously, as I sell 2 or 3, I'm going to need to list 2 or 3, right? Is I increase my sell-through rate, which is I increase the average numbers of sales per day. Again, so then how do I do that? And you listen to Shark Tank and you get ideas. One is marketing. And you go, ugh. So whether you're small or whether you're large, you can market with eBay and it doesn't need to take a lot of time. One idea is you look at promoted listings, which is eBay's advertising. It used to only be available to store owners. That's not true anymore. Now everybody can access it. eBay's going to make suggested rates. You can do that. It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% or more, or you can give them far less. It is a good idea to give them something because you are incentivizing eBay to place your item better in search. The other thing to increase your sell-through rate, which is how quickly the item is selling, and this works whether you're a long tail, which is more unique collectible item, or more of a short tail item, which is more of a commodity, like shampoo conditioner is a commodity. Things with barcodes, DVDs are more commodity. Is to speed up the sell-through rate. How do I do that? And I will tell you one way you do that, and that is your title. And you go, well, Kathy, I mean, that's like, why? And I tell you why. eBay mobile shopping is now close to 80%. That means 8 out of 10 people coming onto eBay are on a phone or they are on a tablet. Take a look at an eBay listing on a phone. When you look at an eBay listing on a phone, what do you see? You see the picture and you see the title. And that is what they are shopping on. Yes, there are filters. Yes, there's a condition box. Yes, there's prices and shipping. But when you are scrolling through eBay, what do you see? You see the picture and you see the title. So how can I increase my sales? A really good title. And I was just searching this for some things that I was researching. And there's people with titles that are 3, 4, and 5 words long. You have 80 characters for your eBay title. That's including spaces. So yes, you include the brand and the color. If it's more unique collectible, it's going to be the style. It will be what it's made out of. Is it glass? Is it porcelain? The period. Is it Edwardian? Is it Victorian? If it's a clothing item, it's going to be the sleeve length. It's going to be the neck style. If it's a toy, who is the make of the toy? What is it? Is it a doll? And you go, oh, that's so obvious. Well, is it a doll? Does that doll come in different sizes? What size is your doll? Is it a small, medium, or large? Or if they have it by inches, there's a 6-inch, an 8-inch, and a 10-inch. Okay. It could be where it's manufactured. Is it from Germany? Is it from the UK? It matters. So what I've learned from Shark Tank, is know my business. And people say to me, oh, well, I sell a variety. That's fine. But you sell a variety that you know about. I have 100 listings. Do you know how many listings? Most people do know, but you should know how many listings you have up. 50, 80, 100. They could be rough. I have roughly 85 up. I have like around 90, 100 up. On average, how much do you sell? And I do realize that there's slow periods. That's why you may want to average by the week or by the month. Is it 2 a day? Is it 3 a day? It's good to know what your average is. What can I do to increase my average without increasing my inventory? Okay. Promoted listings, length of your title. If your titles are nice and long, yay. Then look at your keywords. This is something I get hired on all the time. People will hire me to come in and look at their titles, which is the quality of the keyword. Are you picking really good, important keywords that are going to be searched? Okay. I was looking at, we were looking at a client's, it was a pop-up tent. And the pop-up tent was in the shape of a fish. Well, that's a great keyword, was this kind of fish. If I remember correctly, it was an angelfish. Things like that matter. Country of manufacture, if it's not China, particularly matters. Taiwan, Japan, Germany, Israel, Spain. People do search by that. It will help to increase the sell-through rate. If you can sell even one more item a day and you're selling 2 a day, you just increase your sales by 50%. Yes, list, because you hear people push that. But let me tell you, because I also have sellers come to me in this situation, if you've got 1,000 listings up and you are only selling 1 or 2 a day, unless there's killer margins on your stuff, I mean, like you're making over $100 on an item, something's up, that you've got a ton of listings up and stuff is not selling. Then you got to go back and look at the quality of your listing and the desirability. So it's not just a numbers game of how many listings I have up, because people will say that like, oh, you're going to get X amount of sales with X amount of listings. Not unless they're optimized, not unless you've got good titles, typically not unless you've got good pictures, but I really do want to talk about the titles. There is data that if you do 75 to 80 characters, and you do get 80 characters, that typically your item will sell faster and for more money. And the data is from eBay. I've heard that mentioned a couple times in eBay Opens gone by. Okay, so increase the sell-through rate and really look at how can I increase my sell-through rate. Look at title length, look at promoted listings, and watch Shark Tank. Listen to them when you're watching the show. It is a lot of fun. When you're watching the show, is what are the questions they are asking? How can I take that information and use it for my eBay selling? They will ask numbers all the time. They always are asking sales. They are always asking, how much money do you have tied up in inventory? How much inventory do you have on hand? Okay. And those are my tips for you. Increase your sales, your sell-through rate. Yes, list. But even more important than listing is that sell-through rate, because it's not just numbers. Again, we all know people, because people say, oh, I have 1,000 lists. And it sounds great. I mean, I'm always like, wow, they have 5,000 listings up or 2,000 listings up. But let me tell you, because these sellers come to me all the time saying, Kathy, I have can you imagine? I have 5,000 listings up and I'm not getting sales. There's something up. So yes, list, but optimize. Increase your sell-through rate, promoted listings in your title. And I've got a great tip guide to help you. It's on my website. I Love to Be Selling. It is completely free. So you're going to hop over to I Love to Be Selling. And what you're going to look for, it's the featured guide right now on my website. eBay listings that sell. I give you proven tips that will help move your listings up in eBay search and get your items sold. So grab that. It's completely free on my website. eBay listings that sell, and get going. Increase your sell-through rate. Yes, list. More important is increasing that conversion rate. And eBay listings that sell will help you to do that. Thanks so much for being with me. Bye-bye, everybody.